Hi, my name is Meghan Lowry, and today we're going to talk about different leadership styles. So the first thing we have to do is to define leadership. Leadership is very difficult to define. It's been an area of study for many years, and many people have different definitions. For example, Merriam-Webster labels leadership as an office or position of leading, capacity to lead, or the act or instance of leading. And then there's Bill Gates. He says, as we look ahead into the next century, leaders will be those who empower others. As you can see, his definition of leadership varies slightly from Merriam-Webster's definition of leadership. So we're going to talk about three specific styles of leadership: autocratic, democratic, and strategic leadership. We're going to examine leaders from each style and examine how they succeeded or how they failed. First up is autocratic leadership. The autocratic leader, aka the authoritarian style leader, is characterized by individual control over all decisions and little input from group members. Kendra Cherry gives us this definition of autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership is also centered around the boss. They control everything within the group dynamic, and work life can be somewhat unenjoyable. The autocratic leader dictates everything that happens within the group. There's no room for creativity and no room for thinking outside the box. Rules are important and outlined and communicated clearly. Adolf Hitler can be classified as an autocratic leader. He was a military man who found his sole purpose in the virtues of war instead of peace. He was disciplined in the art of war, and camaraderie was very important to him with his followers. His followers believed in his cause, despite how despicable it was. They did everything for him out of love and fear, and people flocked to see the famous Führer. Next, we're going to talk about democratic leadership. The democratic style, also referred to as the participative style of leadership, involves subordinates in decision making. The leadership style involves appraisal of both the leader and the subordinates with strong feedback structures available. Everyone has a voice, and everyone is encouraged to speak. Employees feel valued, and work life is pretty good. The democratic leader distributes responsibilities among all members of the group. They empower their subordinates, and they engage the whole team. They are intelligent, honest, creative, and fair. Democratic leadership is best suited for groups who can stay on track and focused. The flow can decrease with analysis of all proposed ideas, so the democratic leader must stay on top of the group and make sure that workflow is proceeding in the right direction. They do run the risk of making the members feel invaluable if they do not elect to go with their idea or their decision. Steve Jobs is best known as a democratic leader. He was successful with Apple from 1976 to 1985, and then he switched his leadership style to autocratic leadership. The company began to fail, and the board requested his resignation. It took Steve Jobs 10 years to come back, but when he did, he came back as a democratic leader, and he empowered those around him. He let others make decisions, and he made work life better by beginning with himself. Next is strategic leadership. Strategic leadership is the most complex style. A strategic leader is responsible for company and direction of the company. Strategic leaders refers to managers' potential to express a strategic vision for the organization or a part of the organization and to motivate and persuade others to acquire that vision. Strategic leaders are charismatic, they're disciplined and courageous, they're open-minded, they must possess endurance, they're inspiring, accountable, insightful, strategic coaches to others around them, they collaborate with others, and they must have perspective on the end goal. Strategic leaders must learn from their mistakes. Many problems come up in the business world, and they must learn to adapt to their environment and also to keep in mind the end goal. They must collaborate and maintain perspective, and they must ensure all members have bought into their strategic plan. That is key to the success of the organization. They cannot be short-sighted. Many problems that businesses face need slow fixes rather than quick and easy solutions that are attractive at first glance but fail over long term. Decisions today greatly affect what happens tomorrow. Gene Kranz is known as a strategic leader. He was the famous NASA flight director that directed the Apollo 13 flight. He pushed himself to succeed, and he backed his team always. He faced many failures, but he never quit, and he always looked for solutions. He trusted those around him, and he backed his team members at all times. He saw opportunities in a challenge, and he made sure he was never the smartest person in the room. So let's wrap this up. We've talked about autocratic leadership, which is centered around the boss. We've talked about democratic leadership, which values the subordinates. And we've talked about strategic leadership, which is taking responsibility for the vision of the company or the project. So no matter what leadership style that you have, your followers are key to your success. We've looked at Adolf Hitler, Steve Jobs, and Gene Kranz. They were all examined for their unique leadership styles. They all succeeded in their own way, but also faced challenges and failures. No one will ever be the perfect leader. But the best leaders face new challenges head on, see past and present successes and failures as opportunities, and motivate their team to work hard towards the end goal. And please take a moment to review the references for this project. And in conclusion with the capstone class and with organizational leadership, I'm very grateful that NSU opened up this opportunity for me to complete my degree. I've been to 5 different colleges, I've had 4 different majors, and I've moved around a lot. And so the ability to finally finish my degree online with a program that works for me was key to my success. I appreciate everyone who has helped me through this journey, and I'm excited to be graduating in December. Thank you.